And we tried in earnest to work with the property owner for a very long time. I won't even give you the history of it, but I know in particular the past 16 months, we really tried to get something established with them to where they could come into compliance, and it just didn't work out. So, as far as the demolition, I would imagine once we get the contract signed, we're hoping that within 2 weeks, the contractor could be mobilized and on the site ready to do it. I don't think it's going to take that long once they start.
And just for clarity, I heard, because I sat in on that hearing, it was one of the ones that I sat in, I can't recall the date, but the cost, we will be able to fully recoup that cost, whatever cost it takes to demolish that property. We will definitely get that, as Mayor would say, hard money back.
Yeah, I will say that's certainly the goal. Time is of the essence once the abatement happens, because there has been discussion over the last at least several months that I'm aware of that the property owner is also trying to sell that property. So we have to be very careful with timing. Once we mobilize it, once you as the council approve the demolition cost, we need to get that done and back before the magistrate as quickly as we can so that the lien gets recorded as quickly as we can, because there is, anytime you do abatement, the law allows you to recover your costs. However, you don't want to get, I'll say, jumped in the line in terms of if someone were to try to sell it or foreclose on the property. There are a lot of things that can happen that jeopardize your ability to recover, but that is certainly our goal, is to recover every penny that the town spends to do the abatement.
Okay, and my sincere apologies, I jumped over, but we'll go ahead and we'll finish out, and then we'll come back, and then we'll see, and then we'll have our administrative reports, and if there's anything good of the order thereafter. So since I started out of order, we'll continue. Vice Mayor, have anything?
Yes, we have been planning and still hopefully are planning to do our prayer walk this Saturday morning, which is the 9/11 date. And I was alerted so much in the news this week as people are talking about 9/11 memories. We are going to do our prayer walk for our community. We hope that we have a good number of turnouts at 7 o'clock Saturday morning. We're meeting as usual over at the address, when we usually go to that address again.
1245 45th Street.
That's where the several churches are over there. We'll be in that parking lot at 6 o'clock. Between 6:30, 7 o'clock, we'll be starting our walk. And depending on the number that we have, if we have enough, I would love to see a walk going in two directions, a group going west and a group going east, as we walk and pray for the safety and security of our community, for peace and harmony, and that God's blessings will fall upon us all.
All righty.
Invite all our community to come out this Saturday morning, 9/11, for prayer and a peace walk for the justice for the peace.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Vice Mayor. Anything else? Okay, and I have nothing at this point, so I'm going to defer. What we're going to do now is go to our report. I didn't have my glasses on, and I skipped right over those, so my apologies. Ken?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, thank you for your time this evening. Thank you for the residents that are here. We appreciate you coming. Most of this was in my manager's report that went out this past Friday, so I'm going to defer back to that, but I will kind of skim over these 400 items and try to be very brief. Ms. Green had brought up something at the last workshop, and she subsequently sent that information to Sherry and I, following that on this T-Mobile Hometown Grants Program. And we read through, I actually printed out a copy of that for each of you. And the way this works, and we did find out, Sherry emphasized this morning too, and then I went back and looked, this is for shovel-ready projects. Ms. Green has made the suggestion that perhaps we could use this to help with the expansion of the building at the park. So I don't think that's a terrible idea at all. So whenever we officially approve that project and had the plan laid out, this is something that would, apply for. It could be used for that. So, this is something T-Mobile, along with, Main Street USA and a couple of other, nonprofits have gone in together. And it's a very simple application. You do have to go out and get 5 letters of support from civic groups and different organizations, which should not be a problem. I think we could get churches involved with that and give us support too. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Ms. Green, I don't know if you wanted to add to that or not, but you do have that information in front of you, and we'll be talking more about that moving forward.
Ms. Metcalf, there's one important thing. Even though the grant specifies an elected official, I just like you to let the council know that it's really a project, even though it's one, that we are all be working on. I hope. I need the support of everybody, is what I'm saying. It's just not I don't want anybody to think it's just like my,
Right.
okay.
This is, you are limited, this is something that is filtered to elected officials, but you're limited to one project, so this would get the consensus of the council to proceed with.
Okay.
That would, it's one project, meaning that, application would only be in the maximum total $50,000 for us.
Total of $50,000.
No matter how many of us apply, it's just more than $50,000.
50,000, right.
Okay.
We
Friday?
have time sensitive deadlines for these.
I think the next deadline is October. However, from now until October, we're probably not going to get all the approvals necessary on this level that we need in order to apply. I think it comes back around in January. I think there's like 3, I could be wrong, I need to read a little bit more. I think there's 3 different times of the year that you can apply. Or that, I should say, the town can apply.
Yeah, we're one entity, so. Okay, so if there's any other questions or comments, just get with Ken offline. And if you have a specific project, because we may have 5, what he'll do is weed through them, sort of go through the whole process of vetting, and then we'll bring a project together that we can all discuss, okay? Ready? He stepped out. Amity?
I don't have anything specific for you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Mr. Mayor, I did have a couple more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll be
I'm sorry, I thought you were,
very brief.
okay, go right ahead, my apologies.
Very brief. I was asked a question about, a couple of meetings ago, we brought up the idea of collecting email addresses from the residents and that to be put on the water bill. I think the expectation was that it would be on this water bill that just went out, but we had to advertise the public hearing for the utility rates on that. So the October, the citizens get their October bill, first week in October, that's where we'll solicit for the email addresses for the residents that would like to get that. Okay. And we do, yes, Ms. Green?
I'll ask this, Mrs. Albury. Is it any way that, I know it has to be very short because of the size of the water bill. Could we put it in red? Because when I look at my water bill, I don't know about anyone else, all I'm looking for is the cost, that little number. I don't want to see anything else. And so we wanted to stick out to make people read it so they can give us what we are requesting. So could we put it in red?
Water bill comes, so the water bill comes predetermined by the actual bill itself and by the software program. It's very restricted and limited.
Yeah, let's figure that.
Possibly highlight it is to change the bill for that month, going from a card to a statement.
Anything to make them read, to make us read it, read our water bill.
Highlight it in the system, which we can do. I mean,
Does anybody else look at anything other than the number?
Or if we can put it in bold.
or we ourselves can highlight it. The program doesn't allow you to put it in anything other than what's pre-formatted. But it can be highlighted with a highlighter to grab your attention.
Okay.
the message.
So the software ones, so and I forgot what you, Mr. Mayor, you can't font it to make it older.
No.
So
Not
software
with-
will not, okay.
The software nor the card itself is very restricted.
Okay.
I can confirm that tomorrow by going to the system to look.
Okay, well, I'm gonna suggest that we send magnifying glass to every resident, so
It's
when they
very
feel
little
coming, they can read it.
I have a suggestion. We could send an email out to those emails that we previously do have and just tell them to watch out for the, whatever you want me to say, for them to, in order to make them realize there's something else for them to read on the water bill. I get with you. You to tell me. Okay, that'll help to get at least more people, maybe word of word.
I'll put urgent and then the wording.
They ain't gonna read that water bill.
Two very quick items. On the manager's reports, you'll see at the very top of the page where we keep putting out here these, proposed ordinance revisions. We are gonna have to come to a workshop at some point in the near future. The attorney and the code enforcement officer did some good work on that, so we need to get that in front of you in a workshop soon. And I just want the mayor to know that your Wayne Ponds are gonna happen at the water plant before this month is out.
Oh, good, good. Let's start
And the
beautifying the water
vice mayor
plant.
stole my thunder on the 9/11 walk for this Saturday at 7 a.m. We do need participation from the public and from the council.
Great, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much. And Rodney didn't step back in. We do have his report that was submitted. Okay, so we'll just say submitted for the purpose tonight. Rodney and I have nothing, and if there's nothing else for the good of the order,
Mr. Mayor, I failed to mention one thing. When we come back to our September 21st meeting, we are going to have a discussion on the non-accidental assessments for the sewer project that happened. I just want council to be ready for that, so we can hopefully get that settled by November. So we will have, I'll put a little blurb in the manager's report. Sherry, how's that? All right.
okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Well, thanks. The last little thing, and this is 10 seconds, again, as it relates to the budget, understand that when we come next time for the budget, we're voting yes or no. So if you have any questions, please go through this, speak with the town manager, so that when we come on the next, to 21st, we're voting it. It's not a not a whole lot of discussion, anything else. So if you have some, now is the time. Okay, well, was a little earlier, but got a little leeway here, so, okay. All righty. So with that, seeing that there's nothing else, Ken, committee?
Nothing further,
else?
sir.
Okay, great. So at this point in time, seeing that there's nothing else for the good of the order, motion, please. Motion has been made for adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All in favor, aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is carried. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Mr. Mayor, I told you I wanted to say.
Um,
That's why I asked you when
no, I had called you.
I know you didn't.
Okay,
Oh, I thought everybody was getting ready to join.
yeah. We've adjourned now. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had